Look at Abraham Lincoln. We typically attribute his historical achievement to a stroke of preordained destiny or a lucky draw in the genetic lottery. But the facts of his origin contradict the idea of an easy path. He was born into grinding poverty and received less than a year of formal schooling. By all conventional logic, his environment should have crushed his potential. In 1911, Wallace D. Wattles proposed a solution to this anomaly. He argued that absolutely no one is barred from reaching the highest human faculties by their heredity, their lowly station, or their physical circumstances. For Wattles, Lincoln's intellect wasn't a product of privilege, but the result of a replicable internal mechanism, a specific mental operating system that anyone can access. At the center of this system is what Wattles called the principle of power. He proposed that this capacity for growth exists dormant inside every human being, waiting to be directed by the will. This makes true genius seem surprisingly accessible, which raises a question: why is it so rare? The problem lies in our default mental architecture. Most live in a state of constant reaction, allowing external events to dictate their thoughts and moods. They act only when acted upon, effectively becoming creatures of circumstance. Breaking this cycle requires a shift into deliberate execution. You have to approach the development of your own personality as an exact science. It starts by ignoring external validation and mastering the specific, internal focus required to activate the principle of power. Wattles describes genius as omniscience flowing into man. This requires a constant connection to a universal intelligence holding all knowledge. This connection is fragile. It's severed by anxiety, panic, and cynicism. When occupied by fear, the mind becomes too distorted to receive high-level insight. To maintain this connection, Wattles demands a specific mental reframe called the evolutionary viewpoint. This involves the intellectual choice to view the world, society, and your own life as a perfect machine that is simply incomplete. You must view every social institution and person as being perfect for their current stage of development, even as they advance toward a higher state. Adopting this worldview eliminates the internal friction of complaint. By seeing the world as fundamentally good and growing better, you remove the stress that blocks the mind's ability to process original thought. This radical optimism acts as a technical prerequisite. It clears the mental bandwidth necessary to listen to your inner light and perceive the right course of action in any situation. With a stabilized worldview, you can begin to code the specific mental software of your choice. Wattles calls these thought forms. Before taking external action, you must build a precise, uncompromising mental picture of your highest self. You have to hold this conception as a present reality, visualizing exactly how a great version of you would speak, move, and think. Wattles argued that the man makes the brain, not the other way around. By focusing the will on a specific ideal, a person could physically multiply the brain cells in that area, building a more powerful instrument. Genius, then, is a biological and mental structure you deliberately construct through sustained, repetitive thought. Once you have secured this internal connection and perfected your mental ideal, the question becomes, how do you begin to manifest it? Wattles offers a sharp warning here. You cannot hope to achieve large-scale success by rushing into great things with a small, hurried mindset. The secret to execution is surprisingly mundane. You must perform small, everyday tasks in a great way. Lincoln practiced this exact discipline. Long before he held national power, he was a backwoods lawyer dealing with trivial disputes. But he treated those local, ordinary cases with the same poise and search for truth that he would later bring to the presidency. This internal power remains purely theoretical unless you channel it through the exact, repeated micro-behaviors of your current life. You stop delaying your progress by waiting for a larger stage or a perfect opportunity. The work begins today by executing your current job and treating your family with absolute poise and deliberate purpose. Greatness is an internal operating system that you boot up right now, exactly where you are, allowing your everyday actions to reveal that internal shift to the world.